Peace, family. This is Lions Den with another news and commentary. This article is, it's goes to show how America is really about, right? So the prosecutors decided not to charge a white supremacist who's a Trump supporter for threatening Don Lemon's life. Now, Don Lemon, for those of you who don't know who he is a CNN anchor. Um, and this is what disturbs me about this, because it's like ever since, well, you know who is president, you see a lot of openly racist coming out. For example, with this, it's obviously showing that he doesn't care about anybody else but himself. And the New York prosecutors said, well, it's not really worth the time, and it's sickening to my stomach. I would give a shout out to the article from Diversity Incorporated, Diversity Inc. It says prosecutors won't charge Trump supporter who threatened Don Lemon's life. Threats on a man's life isn't a pressing issue, according to the district attorney's office in Manhattan. A white nationalist sent CNN host Don Lemon death threats in the fall of 2017 via Twitter. Lemon tried to pursue legal action, but was recently informed that the district attorney's office will not be pursuing charges. He called police after receiving several threats from the anonymous man, a self-proclaimed white nationalist and Trump supporter. He also described himself as a conservative, pro-gun, anti-Islam, anti-terrorist, anti-leftist via his Twitter bio. The man sent Lemon messages including F you, N-word, can't wait to stab your neck, and you are a pile of rotten dog ass, racist communist, socialist, liberal moron, asshole. I will find you, you will pay, I'll see you real soon. The NYPD did investigate the threats and determined them to be aggrieved harassment. A police spokesperson even confirmed that Lemon was sent numerous threatening and anti-black messages to his Twitter inbox from an unknown individual. However, no arrests were made. The Manhattan DA's office advised that they wouldn't be pressing charges against the man because they felt the incident outweighed the potential punishment, which would have been less than 1 year served in jail. Seriously? Last week, in an on-air conversation with Chris Cuomo, during a segment about the killing of 2 black people outside a Kroger grocery store in Kentucky, Lemon said the biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized to the right, and we have to start doing something about them. So, let me get this right. The New York's prosecutors saying is refusing to even press charges against a man that threatened Don Lemon for speaking basically the truth. So what if a black, let's just say a BIE, a black identity extremist, which basically we never heard anything like that. Let's just say an activist decided to threaten CNN, anchor, any white CNN anchor. Guess what happened? He'll be prosecuted with a hate crime and other charges. See, but yet it shows that white supremacy is still alive and well. It's always been here. Obviously, you notice now that when you have situations like this, when you have, we have any media anchors that risk their lives. Sometimes reporters risk their lives to do a story, and that's their job. But when you have white supremacists making death threats, to anchors, and you got to take that thing very seriously. So prosecutors say, well, it's not worth even pursue the case, in other words. But what if it's a terrorist? What if it's an Islamic terrorist or any black extremist or black supremacist or any black person that decided, okay, I'm going to threat Anderson Cooper, for example. For example, that the prosecutor will go after him with hate crimes, with all this stuff. But then they're going to probably say, well, it's free speech. For who? See, this is the problem with this free speech situation, right? So it's okay for one person can say that and not do anything for it, but another person can say it and then they'll be charged with it. And yet still there's no racism and there's no bigotry in this country, and it is. And so Don Lemon speaks the truth on CNN, and yet white nationalists decided to making death threats against him because he's really telling the truth. But yet they're going to say, well, it's free speech. But when it comes to, what if it was like Islamic terrorist guy, or what if it's a black person threatening Anderson Cooper? Oh, he's a terrorist. He's basically he's a hate. I mean, he hates gays, so he's basically a hate crime. We charge him with a hate crime. But yet, when it comes to this guy threatening Don Lemon, he's free to go. Leave a comment, tell me what you think about this article, share this video, subscribe my YouTube channel, subscribe my reaction channel, and subscribe my Black Johnson channel for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.